Okay, friends. You guys gave me a lot of words yesterday for the king when I said character traits. A lot of you said Nishvita, Shreya, Sarvanch, Diley, Tanish all said he was kind or nice. And I don't necessarily get that he's very kind or nice. Because when I look at this picture where he tried it out with lots of cooks, and then he's like, no, this is all wrong. And he frowned. He frowned like anything, and he said, but nothing they cooked was good enough. So to me, that's like not super nice. So maybe he is nice sometimes to, I mean, like, look how many chefs he said weren't good enough. You know what I mean? So maybe that first time he was really nice when he was with Wobbly Bob, he was nice. But I don't think that he's necessarily nice to everybody. So I think sometimes he's nice, but I wouldn't necessarily say that's a character trait that he always has. But I will put it down because I got a lot of people who said nice and kind. All right. Funny, I feel like he's definitely not trying to be funny. Remember, a character trait is something that exists within you. I think if it's funny because of your story and not necessarily because the king is trying to be funny. All right, so I know that a couple of you, Tanisha Mason, both said he's funny. He's funny to you, but I don't think that that's a character trait. You know what I mean? I don't think he's trying to be funny or that he's making, think about in his world. Is he making people laugh in his world? No. He's just making us laugh as readers, so we got to kind of keep that in mind. Helpful. A lot of you guys said helpful. Henry said helpful. Srivatsa, Sarvaj, Trinity, Diley all said helpful. And I think that that's a great word for him. Do I think that he's trying to be helpful? Kind of. Who is he really trying to help? He's helping Wobbly Bob. But why is he helping Wobbly Bob? Keep that in mind. Like, why is he helping Wobbly Bob? Is he trying to be helpful to Wobbly Bob? He's helping Wobbly Bob for a reason. So I want you to think about that. Sarvanch and Caden also said that he's impulsive. And I can see how you might think that because here at the beginning, he's like, ugh. He fires all these people like automatically, right? He doesn't think a lot about it. And then he just sees one random cook that's left and he's like, you're hired. Let's go. I want fish and chips. Let's do it. So I can see how you would think that he is impulsive. Like he does things without fully thinking first, maybe. Like he might not have thought about like asking those chefs to make anything else before he fired them. Tanish said he is active, and I think that that's a great word because he is kind of running all over the place, isn't he, in this book? And then Tanish also said enthusiastic. I would say, yes, Tanish, she's enthusiastic about one thing, his food. So I would say, if you're going to say enthusiastic, you'll have to say like enthusiastic about food specifically. And Houston, you said happy. He is happy, but again, happy is an emotion. Because at the beginning, is he happy? Right here, is he happy? No. Right here, he looks very unhappy. And then in here, he is not happy right here either. So again, that's something that changes, right? Your emotions change. So I'm not going to put that one down. But I think that helpful, impulsive, active, I think those are great ones. Again, I left nice because so many of you guys said it. I think that those are great ones for our king. Now, we're going to go back and we're going to read the beginning part of our book again. It won't take very long. And I want you to try to think, is there a word besides nervous you can describe Wobbly Bob as? Because nervous, again, is kind of a feeling. So I want you to look it's a great word, but I want you to look, you can look if you are on the character trait. There's a character trait chart linked to advanced and accelerated reading from Monday that you could look at and see if you can find a good character trait, another good character trait for Wobbly Bob. Okay, here we go. There was once a very hungry king who needed a cook like anything. This book really likes the word anything. I want you to... All right, so here we go. We'll look at these sides of these chefs. So he tried out lots and lots of cooks with their pots and their pans and their how to cook books. One by one they cooked for the king. They cooked and they cooked like anything. This egg is runny. This meat is tough. Too hot, too cold, too sour, too smelly. I don't want a sausage inside of my jelly. This tastes all wrong, said the hungry king, and he frowned like anything. But then he spotted another cook with feet that shuffled and hands that shook. My name, said the cook, is Wobbly Bob. I'm a bit of a wimp, but I'd love the job. The king thought hard and then scratched his head. I fancy some chips and fish. I fancy some fish and chips, he said. Yes, fish and chips is my favorite dish, but first you will need to catch the fish. Let's get raised. I'm having a hard time turning the pages. Oh, there's Wobbly Bob. Look at him. Help, said the cook. I'm feeling scared. I'd love to fish if only I dared, but a shark might land in the fishing net, or I might get my nice new apron wet. My knees are knocking, the cook declared. I'm scared, I'm terribly scared. I'll help you fish, said the hungry king. So he fished and he fished like anything. He caught some fish that were nice and big. Then he said to the cook, it's time to dig. And this is our last page for today. So here's the picture. Help, said the cook. I'm feeling scared. I'd love to dig if only I dared, but I'm scared of worms and I'm scared of ants. They might crawl into my nice new pants. My palms are sweating, the cook declared. I'm scared, I'm terribly scared. So I want you to think of a word, a few more character traits for Wobbly Bob. What the part about Wobbly Bob I really want you to pay attention to is think about what you see that is repeating in Wobbly Bob. For example, I see what's repeating is that he's scared all the time. That's how he feels. He feels scared all the time. But he's worried about like worms and sharks, and he's worried about ants and worms crawling into his pants. He's worried about sharks jumping onto the fishing net. He's worried about his new apron, right? He's worried about all this stuff. Do you think it happens a lot that you go fishing and you catch a shark in that little net? Probably not. Do you think it's normal that ants will crawl into your pants, that worms will crawl in your pants? Does that happen to you guys when you go outside? Probably not. So what kind of person worries about those things? You know, again, a worry is more worried is a emotion word. So what kind of person worries about those things and doesn't want to get their clothes, worried about getting their new clothes dirty? All right. So think about that as you think about that when you think about words to describe Wobbly Bob, our cook, or I should say traits, character traits. And if you need help, again, you can click on our website. You can click on the Advanced and Accelerated Reading work for this week, and on there and on Monday's reading, there is a trait chart that takes you and tells you different traits. So you can literally just look through those. And to see if there's a positive or negative trait or a neutral trait, and just see if you find one that fits Wobbly Bob. All right, guys, thanks for joining me, and let me know in the comment section what are some other traits that Wobbly Bob